Greetings, everyone. Richard Solomon from My Father's Place Radio. How you all doing? We have a really great guest today. This is Robert Grayson, and Robert Grayson is actually performed at My Father's Place. So in our quest to find people who have memories of My Father's Place, this is a unique perspective. Welcome to our little radio segment here, and tell us, what was the name of the band? What was the name of the band that you were in?
I was in a band called Cy and the Clones, and we opened for Fluorescent Leach and Eddie.
And so, what year did you play?
Just for the record, Rich, I just want to say that in music circles, especially in my work in Australia, I've gone out under the name Hanuman, which is a nickname I got many years ago. So people might come across that name and wondering, is it the same guy? Yes, it is, or Hanuman Das. So I'm confusing already. But anyway, go ahead. I digress.
So what year did you perform?
Oh, my gosh, I'm terrible with years. Let's see, it would have been early, mid-'80s.
Okay. And so how did you...
My father's place.
Okay. So how did you get the gig?
Well, first of all, I was going to Berklee School of Music, and we were trying to figure out how to fit as many notes into any one space as possible. And I was friends with a bunch of people that went to Rhode Island School of Design, and a few of them were musicians that only knew like 3 chords, but they wrote these really funny, great songs with those 3 chords. And we formed a band called, whatever we called it, we just recorded basically these silly songs, and then someone wrote Cy and the Clones on the label of the recording that we did, and that's how the band came to be. We played it for Epi. He loved it, and he said, come and play. I opened for Flo and Eddie, which was a brilliant matching because we were very funny and weird and kind of like ahead of our time art rock, doing songs called, like, My Brother is a Bug and She's an Airhead and things like that, Lumps. And we basically had our equipment taped together with duct tape and had played maybe 4 times before in Providence. And it was an experience of a lifetime.
Did you save a recording of this episode? Did anybody record your...
I think there is one floating around.
Wow. If we get a copy of that, that would be cool.
You bet.
And it was Cy in the Clothes. How do you spell Cy? C-Y?
No, C-Y, yeah. Cy, like Cyclone. That was a big historical joke.
Or is that like Cy, like Cyborg? So
Cy. That's Victor's cousin.
So were you also an attendee at any of the concerts there?
I was my brother was in a band called the Phaetons on Long Island, and he was very involved with different shows, and I do not think that he, his band never played at My Father's Place to my knowledge, but he was close with Epi, and my mother, who managed my brother's band, was close with Epi, so I went down and saw a couple of shows. I remember seeing Taj Mahal, if I have it correctly, Leo Kachi. I think I might have even seen Chick Corea. Did Chick Corea play at My Father's Place?
We'll have to look that up, but Chick Corea is great. Yeah, Chick Corea is great.
Saw the fabulous and wonderfully great Robert Hunter.
Wow.
At My Father's Place.
So let's
a couple of other people. Yeah, go ahead.
So let's circle back. So as a performer, what was it like for you as a performance in terms of the audience, the venue? What was it like?
You're kind of pretty nervous at that level. So it was a bit of a blur, but it was incredibly exhilarating. But the audience was... it was delicious in that they got us and that they responded without us having a name or whatever. Especially since we were the opening act. But I do have to say, and again, going back to the wisdom of the pairing of us and Flo and Eddie, both, jocularly oriented units, ensemble, as they say. The people were ready for. It was a self-selecting group, and that they were already a little twisted to begin with, and they got us, and that was just the best.
All right, so Cy and the Clones.
The thing is that the thing that's like a band like the Grateful Dead get and their audience get is it's a two-part deal. Like, you both got to participate to make a night happen. And, venue owners are rare that understand that it's a whole gestalt that needs to occur for, that dance, that two-part dance to occur for the audience. So, just overall, and especially on that night, the audiences generally were clever at my father's place and music lovers and didn't go to be seen or, whatever. They went to enjoy the music.
Now, when you and Cy and the Clones, what instruments did you play at that time?
I played drums. I wrote a few songs and played drums.
Okay. Were you also the vocalist?
No. A guy named Doug Allen was the vocalist who does. He was one of the guys from RISD, and he does the Steven cartoon. He's kind of in this style of R. Crumb, and he was the lead vocalist, and he was an excellent, very funny, weird, just appropriately weird lead vocalist.
And
played a little guitar.
Who else was in the band?
There was a guy named Bill Greenberg, who I think has since passed. In fact, two of the members have passed. And there was an unbelievably fantastic musician named Bob Homan, who was a super hot fusion guitarist. He was relegated to a lot of bass in the group. And Gary Regina was on saxes, myself on drums.
Wow. And how long, when you played, how long did you play at my father's place? How long was your set?
I think it was like a 25-minute set, maybe half an hour.
And how long, did it feel like 5 minutes or 2 hours? Or both?
It felt like 5 minutes. It's like a good comedy set, you know what I mean? A bad comedy set feels like 5 hours, and a good comedy set feels like 5 minutes.
There you go. All right, so that was Cy and the Clones from my father's place in the early 80s.
Cy and the Clones. Let's put it up there and let them have a listen. I'll try to dig it up.
All right, great. Thank you for this segment. Thank you.
Thank you so much.